video teaching us the entire lore of One Piece. Let's see if you can get through all of it in 15 minutes.
Do you need a clicker?
Fine.
Okay. Are you gonna stand over there?
Yeah. Oh, wrong one. Wait, you're gonna need
Okay, no. I mean, you're the important thing here.
Oh, okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to my talk today. So today, I will be talking about the entire lore of, drum roll please, One Piece. So, I want to get started by talking about the Great Pirate Era. So this is an age where powerful pirates with powers, they all band together with their crews to go venture into the sea to find this grand treasure called the One Piece. Now, the One Piece is a treasure left behind through the Pirate King, and we don't know much about him until, yes,
Is the One Piece real?
it is.
How do we know?
I'll get to that then.
Okay. Is that guy on the top left, was he alive during the pirate era? The big one?
Yeah, they're all alive right now. So, but the main topic that I want to discuss is not about any of these pirates, but I just want to talk about Luffy for a second. Luffy's the main protagonist of the show. His full name, Monkey D. Luffy, and the entire show revolves around him trying to become the Pirate King, looking for the One Piece so he can become the Pirate King. Now, there's one special thing about Luffy, is that he has powers. He ate a devil fruit called the Gum Gum fruit, and this gives him the ability to stretch. Now, here we're gonna kind of venture into the devil fruits. So, you might be asking yourself, what is a devil fruit, and why is it called a devil fruit? So, devil fruits are these mysterious fruits that grant you the abilities. There are three main ones. There is Paramecia, Zone, and Logia. Each one is unique, as in Paramecia allows you to manipulate your body or your surroundings, Zone lets you become an animal, and Logia lets you manipulate elements all around. Now, with devil fruits themselves, there are no two of the same. Each one is unique, and each one gives you different powers, such as letting you stretch, others letting you become light itself and traveling at that speed. Others let you manipulate gravity, and fun fact, it also lets you bring down a meteor from space. So, when a user eats a devil fruit, they lose the ability to swim. The reason so is because of devil fruits not following nature, and the sea hates that. And this is called the devil's curse. Now, the origin of devil fruits they're basically physical manifestations of human desires and dreams for evolution. So, why am I talking about this pirate era and these devil fruits? Well, the reason is because of this individual, Gold Roger. Gold Roger was deemed to be the first Pirate King and the person who changed everything, the one who started this great era. He was the first to travel to the final island in the One Piece world, and he found something at the end of the world. And because of this, his actions changed everything. During his execution, which was shown in the first minute, so there is no spoilers here, he had these words where he said, "My wealth and treasure. If you want it, you can have it. Search for it. I left everything I gathered together in one place." And this is the sole reason the pirate era started. These words changed everything. Now, Roger was executed 22 years before Luffy actually ventured out to sea. So, why hasn't anyone found the One Piece in these past 22 years? Well, it's because this is the world of the One Piece world. It is split into 4 different seas: the North, South, West, and East Blue. Each one is divided by a huge continent called the Red Line. The Red Line divides all 4 seas, and in between the Red Line and the seas, there's something called the Grand Line. Now, in order to get into the Grand Line, you need to go up a mountain called Reverse Mountain. This defies everything we know about nature, because the current actually goes upwards, and then it spits you out into the Grand Line, which is everything here to the right. The Grand Line is called the Pirate's Graveyard because of many reasons, which I will talk about later. But once you get into the Grand Line, you must then venture onto the other side, where you get to the archipelago, where you coat your ship to go under the Red Line, to then go to the other side called the New World. The New World is where the final island is and where the One Piece resides. Now, here I just put in pink arrows kind of Luffy's adventure so far. I'm not going to talk too much about his adventures, but he starts in the East Blue and travels all around, and the red arrow is currently where he's at, and the middle circle is where the final island is. So, as of now, he's really close to it. Yes?
Why can't you just go left once you get to the
So,
fire?
the reason you can't do that is because of the calm belt. The calm belt, there is no current, so once you get there, your ship is just in a standstill. There's no way to actually travel.
And there's no
through it.
wind either.
No. It's because in the world of One Piece, everything is different. Nature's different. Things just are weird.
Well,
and you can see that with the double.
Why can't you just cross the red line? Like walk over it? You
Well,
said
the
it's
red line's like a huge just wall.
they can't climb it.
And they can't climb. So.
No one's ever been to the top.
So on one side of the red line, there's something called Mary Grouse. This is where I'll talk about that in a bit. But what happens So the reason that the One Piece hasn't been found is because of kind of the power system in One Piece, kind of the world system. So like, who rules the world? So we have the world government. There is 5 people called the 5 Elder Stars, and they are the highest authority of the world government. They control basically everything. They give orders to the Marines, nations, and they are connected to this hidden side of history of the One Piece world. And now they're in charge of protecting kind of the red line so pirates don't go over and reach the One Piece, because on top of the red line there is the Celestial Dragons. The Celestial Dragons are noble bloods who just hate everything that are not them, and they basically have slaves. And that's why everyone knows the world government are actually the bad guys. So because of this, you might think that, well, these are the highest authorities. Well, wrong. There's someone else in control of the 5 Elder Stars, who I'll name later, but they are an important person in the history. So,
Do they each have a fruit power?
yeah, I'm not going to spoil that.
Oh.
So another power in the One Piece world is the Marines. Of course, they're the military force of the world government, and they hunt pirates. The main thing is that there's 3 admirals. These admirals are the powerhouse of the Marines. Each one, all of the admirals have these unique fruits that are, possess double fruits. And under the Marines, there's the 7 Warlords of the Sea. The 7 Warlords of the Sea are basically pirates hired by the Marines to maintain the world balance. So their bounties are basically retired, and they just work for the world government to stop pirates from venturing into the Grand Line, which was the right side. They all reside within there, so they stop pirates from making it to the New World. Now, why? What about the New World itself? Well, the New World is governed by kind of the 4 Emperors of the Sea. These 4 Emperors are the most powerful pirates in the territory. They rule the New World, and they control massive territories. There's not so basically in the end, there's no single force that fully controls the world. So now you might be asking yourself, well, why haven't any of these powers found the One Piece yet? Why haven't any of them reached this final island? Well, this is where the problem occurs. To reach the final island, you need to find the poneglyphs. The poneglyphs are huge stones that are scattered across the world, and they contain messages and up from the past. The only way to decipher them is by knowing the ancient language, and there's only certain individuals that know how to read them. Currently, there's 30 poneglyphs. There's 9 tablets of truth, 9 tablets of clues. The 4 important ones are the 4 road poneglyphs. These are the ones that guide you to the final island themselves. And the 4 emperors and the world government kind of have their own respective road poneglyphs. So in order to get to it, you have to face them. And there's 6 poneglyphs mentioning these ancient weapons, which I won't talk about until later on. There is one poneglyph that has an apology written on it, and another one that has the final tale that is on the final island itself. Now, these individuals, who are they, and why haven't they read them and discovered kind of what the One Piece is? Well, this brings us to the O'Hara incident. Basically, what happened here is it was a brutal genocide by the world government, and these scholars, they were researching the void century, and in order to research the void century, you must be able to read the poneglyphs themselves.
What is the void century?
So I'll get to that.
Okay.
So the world government deemed them a threat because of them researching the void century. And at the end of the incident, there was only one sole survivor, and this person is the only one who can read these poneglyphs, which is why no one has found the One Piece. Because in order to get there, you need to be able to read these road poneglyphs to guide you to the final island. So now you might be asking yourself, what is the void century? So the void century was basically a 100-year gap, 900, 800 years before the current timeline itself, and it was erased by the world government. Basically what happened was there was a massive war where there was 20 nations united to destroy this great kingdom. These 20 nations ended up forming the world government and are the celestial dragons themselves. So this great kingdom, why did they want to destroy it? Well, it's because they possess advanced technology and they produce these ancient weapons, which are Pluton, Poseidon, and Uranus. So each one of these are hidden within the One Piece world, and the only way to find them is by reading these poneglyphs. And again, there's only one person who can read them. So this also led to the defeat of a certain someone named Joy Boy. So who was under kind of control of this entire incident? Well, it was this individual who was early in the slides. This person's called Emu. They are in control of everything, and they are still alive within the One Piece world 900 years later. So who is this Joy Boy, and why was he defeated, and why did they want him gone? Well, as of now, he's just still a mysterious figure from ancient history, and he's only mentioned in the poneglyphs themselves. He made an important promise, and after his defeat, he wrote an apology on one of these poneglyphs. So he helped spread these poneglyphs, and these poneglyphs kind of connect to the world's hidden history and what happened within this void century. So this all leads us back to kind of Roger and his tale, or his journey of sailing to the final island itself. So what did Roger discover on this island? He discovered the truth to the world. He found out what the history was, such as what actually happened and what were the events of the void century, who was Joy Boy, and his story, and his apology, his promise. And he also found out that the middle initial D is something important, which, as you all know, the main protagonist is called Monkey D. Luffy. So the middle initial D is called the Will of D. It's directly tied to that hidden history, and by having this middle initial, you are considered a natural enemy of the gods. And who are the gods? Well, they are just the celestial dragons. So what about the Pirate King? He was found to be actually called Gold D. Roger. So he was considered one of these enemies to the gods. So on this final island, he discovered the truth of the world, but he also read on the final poneglyph that he was not the one meant to fulfill Joy Boy's will. He had the crew, he had the D, the Will of D, and he basically had the understanding of the world, but it wasn't his time yet. His fate was set already before his journey even began, but because he was this natural enemy of the gods, he ignited this new era for other pirates to find this treasure of the One Piece. So, kind of a thing is, he found out his dream was basically impossible, not for any fault of his own. He was simply too early, and how does he respond when he read this message? All he did was laugh, which is why he called this final island Laugh Tale, where he left everything behind and entrusted it to the pirates, or the predecessor of Joy Boy, to find this final island. So this kind of comes into Luffy himself. Why is he important to the story, and why is the entire show dedicated to him? Well, that's your job to find out, because I am not covering 1,000 episodes. But as of now, in both the manga and the anime, the race has begun to become the Pirate King and find these ancient weapons. And it all depends on who finds the One Piece. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
So, what actually is the One Piece?
So, there is the One Piece hasn't been revealed yet, but there's a lot of theories going around that this might be an ancient weapon that destroys the red line itself to kind of connect all 4 seas together, just because they're all divided, and kind of unite everyone together.
Thank you.
No other questions?
What's your favorite fruit?
Oh, that's a hard one. There's this lightning fruit. It's really cool. You basically just summon lightning, and it's amazing. There's a bad person who has it, but you find that later on in the story, and but that's basically one of my favorite fruits. No one else? All right.
We'll give it up for you.